the live here marketing hacks with my friend Ray Torres from Onset Media. Hey Ray, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Sean? How you doing today, bro?
Bro, another day for me to bring you a challenge for marketing,
Oh
and
my goodness, here we
then I'm going
go.
to throw it to you. So look, this is very common, okay? So I placed an ad, okay, either on Google or Facebook. I got a bunch of lead came, or even in open house, people
Sure.
putting their information.
Yeah.
Now, or my seller landing page, somebody checking a home value. What we get normally, we get a right email address because they're signing up, and when they sign up, because they're getting something in the email, especially if there is
Sure. Always want something. An email address is gold. I mean, the world.
right, email address I'm not getting anything else. Sometimes maybe the name is not correct also. Okay.
Sure.
Now there is no phone number. Okay, and I know many real estate agents, like probably most of the real estate agents, they'll throw those leads because they think, they will
Sure.
think that, hey,
It's
they're
not
not serious.
okay.
They're not giving the right name. They're not giving the right phone number. And, Ray, like there's so many spam going on. So people are very skeptical about giving their full information. They only give the little they need to. So my question is to you, if I have email addresses only, correct email address, what are the opportunity as a real estate agent, we have to,
Nice.
Convert that
Into a possible sale or kind of great question. Great question. First, I mean, it's kind of a chill day for us here Thursday morning. So we're kind of doing a lot of stuff in the office. So say, you know what, let me chill down today. So just chill down, so as we looking forward to the weekend coming up. So that's number one. I had to get that off my chest. I'm normally not this comfortable. So number two, those email addresses. Let me tell you something, man. I mean, it's not only realtors, but I know we're talking about to them right now as well, but also business owners. People don't realize the power of an email address. I personally have about 6 or 7 email addresses, right? I only use 2 or 3, but primarily just kind of 6 or 7. And I would definitely send my spam or whatever to that email address. But let me tell you what that email address does, what it is. Whenever you go into an application and you sign up for something, you give them your email address. The reason why you signed up for this is because you're giving up your data to that company and says, hey, I'm interested in the product. I'm not going to buy, but I just want interested about it. So it's teaching that company that, hey, you could be a potential candidate at one point. And all the applications and all the stuff you sign up for, I want a free ebook. The reason why the information is gold is so they can actually, the company can actually offer you something as time goes on. You may not buy, and they know you're not going to buy immediately, but how about if you buy in 2 or 3 years? What does it take? 25, 100 emails? So what? I can send an email all day long. Yep. So again, realize if you have a list of names, which is I call a pot of gold. If you have a list of names, there's things you could do on the advertising side as well. So Facebook has something called a lookalike audience or meta, whatever you want to call it, right? So they have something called a lookalike audience. So, and I think we talked about this in the past, but just for those who do not know, there's you can actually take that list. And you take it and you put it into the business manager of Facebook. And what it'll do, it'll create an audience similar to what you currently have. So again, it's kind of saying, hey, I know these people like X, Y, and Z because we know all about them because they're meta, right? And we're able to take them and create an audience that's like them, not exactly them, they're similar to them. That's called a lookalike audience. That could be done quite simply. Again, so that's one of the gold of an email address. Again, if it has a certain profile, wouldn't you want to market to a certain profile? Sure, of course. And then let's go to the elephant in the room, which is Google, right? So again, does Google give us the same opportunity? Absolutely. It isn't as easy as Facebook or numbers wise. You'd have to have a lot more email addresses. But you do the exact, think about it, you do the exact same thing who said they're interested in buying X, Y, and Z or buying a house or looking for a mortgage or whatever it may be. And you take that, the list of names, and you add that to your advertising dollars in Google, so you can kind of be able to create an audience similar to that as well. So these are little tools that you can utilize to say, hey, guess what, guys? Thank you very much for your email. Now I'm going to go and utilize it for another method to find another audience, not necessarily just you. Not to mention, email is still today the best conversion rate among everything. So again, so you may not say, oh, emails just don't do nothing. Well, maybe because your messaging is not right. So again, so I would definitely, like we said many times before, become the client or become the customer or go on the opposite side of that email and see what you're trying to sell. What are you offering? Again, to make sure that the verbiage is correctly. And that's one thing that I see all too often not being done, including myself. So I've always had to look at that and become that client.
Now, Ray, just to get a clarification on that. So you mean email, not just from the Gmail or Yahoo or whatever. The email means like using a email marketing platform like MailChimp or Constant Contact like that. Is that right?
Yes. So yeah, MailChimp, Constant Contact, the HubSpot. So all these different companies that provide email service. But again, but let me just mention, because when we talk about advertising, adverts, right, in Facebook, Google Ads, which are primarily the biggest ones, right? So they can help you create an audience. They're not going to download emails to you to be able to use that in your MailChimp, but you'll be able to advertise to those people. So you're not going to be able to download, but when you get a name, that's why the names are gold. If I was a medical practice and I have a list of patients, that is very good. So you take those the list of names and you add that, put it somewhere in some kind of CRM or some kind of listing agent, where it has the information, because that's going to be used towards your advertising versus just to advertising to, hey, I'm going to advertise to this zip code or to whatever. No. We don't want to do that too often. Of course, we do it because we do it just to reach out, but you want to get specific and target it. When you target something, you have a better chance of getting a sell or a lead than not targeting at all. So keep that in mind. So I hope I answered your question to that. But that's exactly.
And what else can we do with the email ad? Like what are the opportunities do I have other than that?
So let me give you an example that I've done, right? So I would do I have something called Loom, and Loom is a free platform. We'll put the link in the bottom if you like. So what you can do is literally just take, again, all the work is you as being the person that's going to market whatever you're trying to do and that's in the details, right? So you create this little video or picture or whatever it is on Loom, which is free. And then you take that and you embed it onto your email. So when they open up the email, if they open up the email, right? Because we don't know if they're going to even open it. Again, you would be able to see exactly, they'll be able to see exactly what you're trying to offer. Because again, one thing that we talked about at one point is that, man, trying to get through to, past the gatekeeper, which is always hard. But again, you have to show value. If you show value by showing up maybe under construction or, kind of mortgages at a whatever low, or, hey, let's get a house for X, Y, and Z. What makes you stop and open and look at an email makes you more powerful. So again, and there's many tools out there that show how long you've been on there, and MailChimp, HubSpot, all these things actually give you an idea of, okay, your open rate, how long they were on, who subscribed, who unsubscribed at the time, those things, which is all data back to analytics, right? That's all data that helps us kind of know if what we're doing is even worth continuing or not.
So basically, with those emails, I'll know who opened it. So I know they're serious or not.
Yep.
And how many times opened it, differently. If I send 10 set of email, during 2 months, for example. So we know how many times they opened it and also which information they opened it.
Yeah.
So somebody thinking of selling will open a different information than somebody thinking of buying.
Yeah.
So very good. Okay.
Oh yeah, and just so you know, there's a lot of what has happened in the last couple of years with certain programs like Apple and Mac Mail. There's many programs that tells the person where this original email is coming from. You can, of course, that's another level, but there's many things, because email, and the reason why I know about how profitable it is, how good it is, because I follow with that. If emails are very good, then there's a reason why aren't we doing it? That's where it comes out. Why, if you're not busy, why aren't you sending emails? Why aren't you creating a CRM? Why aren't you using those names? Those names are so important to kind of create an audience, right? A, to market to that audience, and also to create an audience from that list. I mean, what else do you want? You want someone to buy your product without you even selling? Yeah, wouldn't that be nice, right?
So now the other thing also we can do the retargeting too.
Yeah, right. Well, that's what I'm referring to. So when I say lookalike, I'm sorry, I'm glad you mentioned that. When we say lookalike audience, so what we're doing is we're actually retargeting. So again, you'd have to add something, you know, for example, let me back up because I'm going too fast as my mind is racing. So when you have a website, let's say, for example, back to that web, there's something you put on the website. It's called the pixel, and you could do the same thing with Google in a different form. It's, you know, for the marketing pixel, the marketing tag that's put on Google. So, and that pixel, what it does, whenever someone goes to your Facebook and you have a link to your website, they go to your website and they look at your website for a minute, a second, 2 minutes. Now what that pixel does, it automatically takes that information, says, hey, guess what? This person has visited your website. So whenever you run an ad, I'm going to show them the ad that you have because they already showed interest by clicking on that button. That's remarketing. So it's going to retarget exactly with the market that, you know, you said, hey, I may be interested. Let me just take a look at it. So this is a method that we do in marketing to kind of try to get good results with the money that's being spent. When you're not retargeting, you're wasting money sometimes because again, we don't, let me tell you, speak for myself. So when I go buy a pair of shoes or a shirt, when I pass by, I don't buy it right away. I have to go back to it a couple of times after I've seen some other shirts, you know, so same thing, you know, again, if you're going to offer something, if you have a pixel on there, it'll come back. And while they're looking or scrolling on their feed, whatever it may be, which is on Google, on a blog or whatever, on Facebook, your ad will pop up only if you're running ads. If you're not running ads, no, you will not pop up. That's why the retargeting of ads is exactly how it works. You have to be running ads for this to work, and it has to be set up properly, which is, you know, you call your local digital marketer and see if they can set that up for you, and, you know, and then you'll be all set. But I definitely recommend it. It's a great tool.
Yeah, if not, you know who to call.
Yeah, you know, hey, I'm not saying anything, but you know, so
you know, like two major things, you know, one is of course, you know, the email marketing, you know, we normally do different way, but the retargeting and then the other lookalike audiences. So if I have 100 phone number, the email addresses, I can actually get maybe 1,000 people through those 100 email addresses. So that's great.
Sure. And let me just say one thing that most people do not know, because this is very high level, I want to say, right? There's something that Google gives us for free. I tell you, just so you know, why you think it's all for free, because you're giving up data, just so you guys know. So it's not for free. It's called Google Tag Manager. And what that does, it actually adds an area code where you can add all your marketing tags on there, and it'll automatically connect to your website. So this is how it's done. You add your Facebook pixel on there, your remarketing tag, as well as other things as well, to kind of keep your website up to sparring and be able to look at everything. So you don't have to always log in. And this is what your digital marketer should set up for you. It doesn't have to be for them. It could, you can, if you have a Gmail account, you have access to it, you just don't know about it. Awesome. So yeah, that's
great. So Ray, great information. You know, so we can do a lot of things. So my friend, if you get a lead signing up to your web page or however you got it, don't throw them, because those leads can be very valuable, because you never know, because we should not be judgmental because somebody didn't give the full information, because we don't know what's going on in their head. Maybe they're, you know, they are spammed many times, so they don't want to give all the information. They only want to give the email address, and then just ignoring them, we may lose a lot of business. So take the advice from Ray and do whatever he just, you know, told us, you know, last 10 minutes or so.
That's right. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out. I mean, our information is there. So, and Sean and I talk all the time about how can we strategize the next, you know, the next level, you know, of what we're trying to do as a marketing, you know.
So thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. And then hopefully, you know, the information Ray provided definitely going to help you to use the email address you receive very smartly and widely. Give us a call. Any question you have, Ray's number is right here. My number is here. Thanks for watching, and see you next week, same time, 11 o'clock Eastern time on every Thursday.
Yes.
Thank you.